Yeah, so I am in a posture to attack. I knew this workout I had to either win it or get second place. And if I got second place, I knew Haley Adams would have to get last place in order to do well. So I just had to focus on what I could do and the task at hand. And that was pretty much eyes on the prize, ready to win that workout. So I sprinted at the start and I was ahead. And basically the one strategy my coach gave me for the workout was to keep in touch with Haley and T on the run. I know both of them are really good at running. So I had to go faster than I wanted during the run because then my heart rate could settle down a little bit during the handstand push-ups. When Haley passed me in the run, I was not concerned. Actually, like right when I started the workout and I was ahead of everybody, I had to turn around a couple times and be like, is everyone else with me? Am I by myself? Because I just like sprint started. And most of the time people do, but they did not in this workout, probably because it's 50 minutes long. So they're like, we're just gonna ease into it. We don't need a sprint start where, I mean, in the back of my mind, like I said, I knew I had to win the workout. So when she passed me, I was kind of expecting it. I could see her out of the corner of my eye, kind of diagonal behind me. And then when she passed, I was like, it's okay. Like you still have a lot of the workout left. Don't blow it out of the water here because there's a lot of gymnastics about to go down. I actually didn't have a time in mind for my mile. I just knew how I had to feel while I was going through the mile. So I didn't want to be completely exhausted because like I said, when I came in, I wanted to be able to go straight to the handstand push-ups because that's where I knew my strength was and where I could really push the workout and get a lead on the other athlete. My opening set, I try to remember, sometimes I'm really bad at remembering things, but I'm pretty sure it was 15 reps. My coach was like, okay, let's start off with between 10 and 15. They felt great because you're coming off of a run. And so I'm like, why not go for 15? So during the handstand push-ups, I knew I was gonna get somewhat tired, but I didn't wanna push failure at all. So I would get fatigued and I would feel the reps start to slow down. So right after that, I would just come off the wall, take a few seconds. I was trying to keep my rest rather short because I'd rather keep my rest short than doing too big of sets and then having to take like a 20 or 30 second rest. So I tried to keep it around 10 seconds or less. 200, knew my legs were gonna be on fire. But for the pistols, it was basically just smooth and steady. You know the workout's not gonna be one here, but you could lose it. So I was just trying to find a rhythm and just continue to move and continue to work. My legs were definitely getting tired, especially for the second 100, but it was like, okay, do a few, take a second, and just make sure to make every rep count. Try not to get any no reps. I was multitasking because I was like, oh, I'm so thirsty, but I'm like, you can't take that long to break. And then actually, as I was holding the water bottle, I was like, I'm basically doing extra weighted pistols now. This bottle weighs half a pound.
Did you have anything in the water bottle or was it just water?
It was actually, there was sugars and protein in the bottle. So I brought that with me. Usually in longer workouts, I don't drink like water that much during them, but I knew this workout was gonna be really exhausting and I would need a little bit of extra sugar during it just for energy. So I put it on the sideline and I was like, if I need it, it'll be there. If I don't, then so be it. But I definitely needed it. But it was just kind of like, okay, smooth and steady here. You know that you have 300 reps ahead of you, so don't sprint these and then be out of breath by the time you get to the pull-up. So finish strong, and right when you're done, be ready to attack the pull-ups. I was really happy when I was off the handstand push-ups by, I don't know, I mean, how I developed a big lead on the handstand push-ups over the other athletes. I knew I was good at handstand push-ups, but being able to, I don't know, get a 30 to 40 second lead at least, maybe even a little bit more from them was huge, especially because there's a lot of gymnastics in the workout, but you never know how it's gonna play out. So just having a lead was nice, but then it was also hard kind of gauging, especially the pull-ups. When I got on the bar, I'm like, okay, how much rest are other girls gonna be taking? How, like, what is that gonna look like? But I'm like, don't worry about it, just do you and do what you can and focus on your reps and making every rep count.
So you open up with a pretty good big set. You did 10 on your first set of pull-ups and 8 in your second set of pull-ups. Kind of like, all right, so you've done the hand under handstand push-ups. You've obviously had a whole weekend of working out. How are your arms now feeling? You're 18 pull-ups in. It looks like you're kind of slowly dialing your rep scheme back to a manageable portion. Like how's your arms feeling right there?
Yeah, I mean, my arms are feeling okay. Like right at the beginning, I felt my triceps and shoulders a little bit because it was right after the handstand push-ups. The 200 pistols gave them a little time to rest, but it definitely wasn't enough. And yeah, so for the pull-ups, I started off by doing a set of 10 and then a set of 8. And then, yeah, slowly worked my way down because at the end of the day, I don't know what 300 weighted pull-ups is gonna feel like, especially at the end of a long competition weekend. So my arms, like, were okay near the beginning, and then as you get going though, you can definitely feel your lats and your grips and your grip getting tired. My biceps felt okay during it. Was mainly lats and grip that were getting fatigued, especially as I worked my way through those 300 pull-ups. So I settled on a rep scheme of 4 instead of 5, because by the time I did my 4, I was like, if I push any more, I can feel myself getting closer to that failure point. And that extra rep is a lot more work than what it's worth for me during a workout like this. I mean, I think just because I've done CrossFit so long and also gymnastics, like I know my body so well that I can feel where I'm starting to push too much and feel like where my happy place is. Plus, if I stuck with the 4s, and then on the last set, if I was able to push 5s, then I would. And that's kind of how I know where that sweet spot was and where like the 4 was perfect for me. So for a workout like this, it's kind of like, okay, jump down, grab a little chalk, take a second, jump back up. Also, I could hear my coach in the background screaming, get back up, get back up. So he always made me jump up on the bar sooner than I wanted to. But you know, that's the point of having a coach, to help them push you more than you would ever actually push yourself. So it's kind of this rhythmic, like jump down, get a little chalk, hear him scream at you, jump back up, get some in. And then I could actually slowly see like Katrin out of the corner of my eye, slowly catching up. And it was like, okay, you need to jump up faster than you want, because you can't let her catch you and pass you on these pull-ups. Yeah, I could definitely slowly feel her creeping up, especially when I jumped to the second to last pull-up bar, which meant I had the 100 pull-ups left. And at this point it was like, okay, well, you just gotta try and push as much as you can. You can't do better than you can. But at the same time, holding her off was key, because like you said, I knew I had to win the workout in order to get on the podium. Yeah, I was wiping my eyes because there was sweat. I was like, I should have wore my headband. But I did not in this workout. And one time that I regret it, because it is a long workout and there was sweat that was like coming down. I was trying to like wipe it because my eyes were starting to sting a little bit. And I mean, maybe it was just kind of like out of habit too, just rub your face, even though I feel like during training I don't normally. So I'm gonna blame it on the sweat in my eyes and the sun beating down on us. Luckily for me, like I don't look at like a big picture of like, oh my God, there's 300 pull-ups. It was kind of like, okay, what is your set gonna be? And so like for me, I was just trying to think about the number of reps that I had right in front of me and how many I was gonna do at a time. And I remember there was a time like on the second 100 pull-ups where my judge was like 48. And I was like, shoot, you're not even halfway done. And I was doing like sets of 4. I'm like, this is gonna be a lot of sets to get to the end of those 300 pull-ups. I was like, don't think about that. Think about, you're gonna jump up, you're gonna do 4, you're gonna grab your chalk, and you're jumping back up. So just thinking about like the smaller sets, I think keeps it more manageable in my head than thinking about the big sets and how many reps I actually have left. I did feel the pressure because I could actually hear our judges counting, and I could hear our judges say what number we were on. And I knew she ended up getting really close and was like only a few reps behind. I'm like, man, how did she catch up? But in the back of your mind though, you're like, you can't worry about that. Like just worry about what you're doing, and there's still plenty of the workout left. So just focus on each set at a time and going as fast as you possibly can, and try not to think about her, even though, you know, she's breathing down your throat.
So you got final 6 reps here to go. What hurts the most?
I feel like at this point, it was kind of just like everything hurt, like my lungs, my lats, and I was like, oh man, I'm coming close to failing these. But it was like, okay, just get a few, short rest, jump back up, come on, let's go. But yeah, definitely like my lats were getting super tired and my grip. So that was pretty much what was getting close to failure. But then also you're breathing because you're just doing 300 pull-ups as fast as you can.
All right, so you finished up, you're running, you're going for it.
I am going for it. Well, like right when I knew Katrin was so close on those pull-ups. So it was like, right when you jump down, you gotta go. Like there is no time to be wasted here. Don't fumble around. I kind of like ripped off my grips as I was running because I was like, Katrin's a really good runner. You have to get out as fast as you can because you don't want her catching you on this run. So every second you can get ahead, you have to. that the first half of the 2nd-mile run was definitely the hardest part of the entire workout for me. I mean, in looking at this workout, I knew running is going to be hard for me, but it was, I think what made it so hard too is like I had to push because I knew Katrin was so close. And actually, you could see me looking back a couple times just to see where she's at, because I'm like, okay, if she starts to get closer, then you're gonna really have to push and see, like, just dig really deep and see what there is left. But at the same time, I was like, you don't want to get to that point, so push more than you want to. And I think the first 800 meters seemed like 3 miles, and like I made one turn and I was looking for the tactical dummy so I could turn around it, and I'm like, it's not there. And I ran again, and then I was looking for it, nope, still not there. And then the third time when I expected it to be there, it was finally there. I'm like, okay, you're halfway done. And then when I turned around, I didn't see Katrin for, I don't know, a good like 15, 20 seconds. And I'm like, okay, you have a good enough lead on her. And in the back of my mind, it was like, oh, you can walk. And it was like, no, don't walk. Like, that's the last thing you want. Still continue to go hard, because the last thing that I would ever want to happen, especially in a workout like this, is not give it my best and then not end up on the podium because of something stupid like that. So it's like, continue to go, continue to push until you cross that finish line. You'll have months to rest after this, so work hard now and it'll pay off later.
All right, so you passed Katrin. What's that emotion like for you? Are you now feeling that a little sense of relief knowing that buffer?
Okay, I think my pace is actually even a little faster than hers, so if I can just continue to move at this speed, then I'm smooth sailing. All
right, so you just passed Haley. Like, internally, are you kind of smiling now at this point? Like, do you feel like you know now that you're gonna make it?
I actually, like I said, I still wasn't exactly sure what it meant as far as like podium and the order that the girls had to be in. I knew I was 5th place and I needed a lot to move up to that 3rd spot. So when I was going through the final run, it was kind of like, okay, just push as much as you can here, and however things fall out, they fall. But I knew Katrin was next, and then I remember seeing Tia, and I'm like, okay, I think this is exactly what I need. But it's not over until you cross the finish line, so it was try like not to get ahead of yourself. And yeah, there up the hill, I was like, I want to walk, and it was like, no, stop, keep going. And then after I turned around the last corner, and then I was like running to the finish line, I was like, oh, this is great. I was like, now I can smile, I can see it, and I was like, yes, I made it, and I just won that final workout. And then after, I was like, oh, I can't breathe. It was like, yes, I finished. And you're on like such a high, and then you like stop and you're like, am I gonna die? I'm like gasping for air. And I felt like such a drama queen when Angel like offered me the water. I was like, just pour it on my head. I was like, what was I thinking? I was like, I guess I wasn't, but.
You said you liked the workout here at the end. Is that true?
I mean, I did like the workout, and I think part of it is because I was done. But it was like, my favorite workout of all time is Mary. And I think it's, especially after doing it at last year's games, it was just such a fun workout. And I mean, I love bodyweight stuff, so you might call me a little biased, but that inside of a run with the weight vest just added a whole different element of pain and of hurt and digging into your dark place. And I think I like that workout for so many reasons. And I think part of it is because I proved to myself and to many others how fit and just how much of a fighter I actually am. And it was just so cool that was the workout that took me from 5th place to being on the podium, and just winning that workout and knowing that I had to win the workout and being able to deliver in such a time, I think is just what made me like that workout and what made that workout so special.